The Giver, chapter 6. Alright, we did chapter 5 already. Now we are moving on to chapter 6. Lily is getting her hair done. Who's doing her hair? Mother. She does her hair. Usually Lily's ribbons get loose very quickly. So the mother ties it very tight today, especially today. Why? What's happening? The ceremonies are happening today. Yay! What happens is everyone in the community, literally everybody, goes to this one big auditorium and they just watch as everyone does their ceremonies from 1 all the way to 12. Just one day of ceremonies. When Lily turned 7, she got a jacket with buttons that are at the front. Usually year 6, 5, 4 and below, they have buttons at the back. And these ones are a sign of independence. Why? Why is this a sign of independence? Because you can do it yourself, you take care of yourself. They can tie their own buttons, that means they take care of themselves. Lily says to Jonas, I would really like you to be a pilot so you can fly me around. And Jonas jokes with her. He says, oh yeah, we can fly around together and I can take you very high. And he implies that he would scare her a bit. The mother obviously chastising him for it. She tells Jonas to do what before he leaves, now that he's older? To take the pill. Right? She tells him, remember to take your pills. You have to take it every day now, constantly, every day. And now Jonas has to do that as well. The ceremonies. Okay, the ceremonies go on day 1 and 2. It's quite a long process because they have to get through all the kids, all the ceremonies. On day 1, it's actually, I made a typo, it's not 0 to 8 years old, it's actually 1 to 8 because the ceremony of 1 first. So with ceremony of 1, Jonas's dad, he's holding a baby, but it's not Gabriel. It's someone else's baby. He's the nurturer. He sits in front, and he holds the baby's hand. He waves to Jonas with the baby's hand. It's very cute. But usually, Gabe at the moment is at, where is he at the moment? He's not there. He's at the nursing center. Because usually babies that weigh less and that have restless sleep, they are considered inadequate. And typically what happens to those types of babies? They get released. However, something was different with what happened with Gabe. How come he wasn't released with the rest of them? Or wasn't considered immediately released? Yes? There you go. Father made an appeal, it says it here. Father put in an appeal for Gabe to live with them for 1 year before confirming Gabriel's release. So he's not considered inadequate, but what is he rather labeled as? Uncertain. There you go. Now when it comes to the naming ceremony, Asher even said that his sister, what's his sister's name again? No, Asher's. Philippa. Asher's sister's name is Philippa, and then Fiona goes up on stage because she also has a brother of her own. What's his name? Bruno. She doesn't like the name Bruno, but Jonas does like the name Bruno. There's also another baby, yes? But she doesn't like the name, so this seems more fitting. I don't want to talk about the name. So I put that one. Okay, so there was another baby of this year. His name is Caleb. Right? And now because of Caleb, the old Caleb, I'll tell you the story. Caleb was 4 years old, and the older Caleb. He was 4 years old, and something happened to him. He wandered around, and what happened to him after? He fell in the river. Okay, and unfortunately, it implies that he did die afterwards. He did drown. So what happened in the ceremony of loss, once he went into the river, what they did is they said his name and gradually got softer and softer and softer. Okay, this is what happened in the ceremony of vows. Yes?
But how do you, like, why would they whispering his name all the time?
It's just a form of recognition of a life once lost. So it's just repeated to say that he's not forgotten.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And then the murmur of replacement, I think it's a few years after this, I'm not sure. But now there's a new Caleb that's replacing this Caleb. But they recognize the mourning of the previous Caleb. So what they do in honor of the previous Caleb is they say his name again and again, louder and louder and louder. So there's a difference between ceremony of loss that gets softer and the murmur of replacement, which gets louder and louder. Caleb, 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 to just symbolize a new beginning for Caleb. Isn't that sweet? Don't you find it sweet?
That's really weird.
Or you find it weird? Yes. Tell you what, if you read the, I'm not sure, is it in the chapter? Is it the same parent? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Now, it goes from number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way until Lily. Lily is 8 now. She was 7 now. She's 8 at the ceremony. And she gets a new jacket with pockets and smaller buttons to keep track of her own belongings. So this is a sign of possession, keeping your own possessions. Okay? That is day 1. 1 to 8 years old, that's day 1. Day 2, we have the 9s, 10s, 11s, and 12s. It's like high school, basically. I'm a so day 12. Okay. 9s. What do they receive? It's probably the most exciting part for 9s. They receive a specific thing. A bicycle. Yes, they receive their bicycle at the age of 9. Lily is very excited. She just can't wait until next year because she wants a bicycle. When you are 10 years old, then sorry, your haircut. You get your hair cut. Females lose their braids while males cut their hair short. Then lastly, the 11s. New clothes. Okay, they get new clothes. So we have the 9s that ride their bike, the 10s that cut their hair, and the 11s that get new clothes. Yay, stylish. I feel like they do have the sameness. You can't choose. Remember? You wear the same clothes. Probably the same page. They don't explain. It's like it's your school uniform. Okay. Now we have ceremony of 12s. They are getting ready. Asher and Jonas, they are getting ready for the ceremony of 12. But now Asher's nervous. He's thinking, oh no, what about my assignment? What if I don't get an assignment? There's a story about a man. It's not true. It's a rumor. But it's a story about a man, and he thought he was going to get an engineer. He was so confident that he would be an engineer. But unfortunately, he became a sanitation producer or something. And because of that, he despised his job so much that he swam to the other community across the river. That's the rumor. That's the story that was made up to scare 12s. But Jonas assures him, don't worry, the elders know what they're doing. They're going to pick a good job for you, just like they pick us good spouses. Everything they decide is perfectly coordinated. So Asher doesn't have to worry. But Jonas soon realizes that he eats his own words in the next chapter. That's in.
Dang.
Okay.